Hello, this is the House on Podcast Hill, and I sound weird. My name is Zoe, and to my right, I have my wife. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am the wonderful, beautiful, fabulous Gabby, and you will grow to love me.
Bet you will. All right, so Gabby,
Yes.
tell the people what we're about, what we're going to talk about.
We are about murderers, psychopaths, killers, the fun people of the world. The one that makes life interesting.
Yes, the finer things of life. Just kidding. But yeah, she is right. We are going to be talking about the psychopaths, the killers, the horror, the supernatural, just about anybody that we find interesting and we think you guys would enjoy. So, yeah, that's what we're about. And so, Gabby,
Yes.
why are you interested in this shit?
Because of you.
Well, that's a good
Honestly.
answer.
I was thinking about it all day preparing for this very first episode of ours, and I don't know. I really wasn't into this stuff, and I didn't know anything about horror movies because my parents just don't like them at all. And I wasn't into murderers. I saw a couple on TV, but just, when they were put away, I didn't know anything about them. And then I met you. And you love all types of movies, but horror, gory movies seem to be your favorite. And I found out that I actually like that too. Started getting into it, and I don't know, I'm not interested in them for any other reason than I want to know why they do what they do and how we can help them not do it. Like, I don't think that they're cool people or fun or exciting. I think that they're horrible maniacs, like the real people who do this. And
But they're human beings, so, you know.
yeah, they are. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's complicated, but I don't know. And I'm going to admit it. I like gory things. I like to watch the gore movies. I find them fun and sometimes funny, depending on the movie.
Mm-hmm. Some stuff could be very funny.
Yeah.
Just like Jason X we just watched the other night.
Yes, Jason X is a perfect example of that. Because even within the movie, you could tell it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
How about you?
How about well, it seems like I've always just kind of been interested in just spooky, weird, dark, disturbing things. I don't know. Just ever since I was little, I used to watch horror movies with my parents or my grandparents. My aunt, she's crazy. She believes in aliens and stuff like that, so she got me into that. And just as I grew older, I just dove more deeper into that side of things just because it's, I don't know, what appealed to me. And I was also just like a weird, messed up kid, too. So, I mean, yeah, we all kind of identify that way. People who generally like these things. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how I fell into it. I mean, I remember just watching like horror movies really late at night, like staying up late. Parents go to bed and just sneak on the TV and just watch some slasher flick, Scream or Halloween or, that stuff. As I got older, I also liked, kind of like dark music, like rock and, well, not all rock is dark, but, I just like the darker things. So, that's what I don't know, I just took everything that I could find that was dark and disturbing and supernaturally and everything and just used it as a blankie.
So, what would you say is your favorite, just sticking to the movie theme we have going on right now, what would you say is your favorite horror movie?
That is like the toughest question you can ever ask somebody,
Okay,
Gabby.
okay.
Come on. How am I supposed to choose?
Okay. How about, who is your favorite horror movie villain?
That's tough. Are we talking like big, like movie franchise villains, or like we could do like one-off villains too?
Anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah,
Man.
if they were a villain or a serial killer in a movie, they count.
Well, big time. I've always loved Michael Myers. He's kind of like one of my top dogs, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. There's other people that have intrigued me as like horror movie villains or stuff like that. I mean, even like from like TV. Like I love that show Supernatural, and the guy who embodied Lucifer, he's fucking amazing at doing that, and he's
Yeah.
really good at being a villain.
That actor.
Yeah, like I don't know, he was just that role was pretty good. I mean, guaranteed some of that was just humor, and it wasn't all horror with him. But I don't know, he showed a great evil side. Also, that German guy who played that guy in that show too. He usually plays in horror movies. I forget his name. He's the one who I think his name was Alistair, whatever. The torturer that tortured Dean, eventually got him to die.
it was
He's like, you
Alistair.
gotta do better than that, Dean. That guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's great at being a horror villain, and I think he's played in like the Human Centipede and some other foreign horror films.
Still have not seen that movie. Still will not see that movie ever.
You gotta see it.
I'm not watching people shit in each other's mouths.
Well, you don't actually see the shit.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
My wife, everybody. Okay.
Oh, don't act like I'm the weird one here. No. Just no.
On this type of podcast, yeah, that's fucking weird.
Damn.
Yep.
You got me there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've watched hundreds, literally hundreds of horror movies. I've probably seen more horror movies than any other genre in my life. I can guarantee you that. So I don't know. Michael Myers. I mean, Jason's good, but I take Michael over Jason. To be honest, I think Freddy's just a fucking idiot. I mean, I don't really care about a pedophile with
Yeah, I don't care
knives
about that.
for fingers. So I mean, he can whatever. But
Okay, going back. Jason. What's wrong with Jason Voorhees?
so obviously, my wife's favorite villain is Jason Voorhees.
How can you not love him?
I like Jason. I just think Michael's a better villain.
Why?
He
They're
has a
almost
better.
the same character.
He has a better story.
No, they're almost the same character. Both children grew up like hurt,
Jason is just a
abused,
fucked up kid with some disorder, and his head was all weird, and he
and
drowned.
because he was being neglected
Yes.
in a safe place, and now he hates everyone who comes there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I mean, that kind of sucks. I mean, I don't know. I like Michael's story better, and even that, though, I mean, all we have to go off is the Rob Zombie version of it, which is not even the best of Halloween's, but, I mean, I still like it,
Why is
But-
that the only one we have to go off of?
because that's the only movie where it shows an origin story for him.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think in a couple others it might mention, like,
But it doesn't, like,
kind of,
show
but
it
it doesn't
like the
show
Rob
anything,
Zombie?
like, you don't get concrete facts.
Oh, okay.
And so, for Michael, you just know he's a fucked up kid. He's, like, basically a future psychopath and stuff like that, future serial killer who murders his family, gets sent away, and then ends up just starting to kill everybody. And somehow he keeps on coming back.
Huh.
So, plus, I mean, Halloween had Jamie Lee Curtis in it. So, I mean, it's pretty badass. So, I don't know.
I still don't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna offend a lot of people. I don't like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, you don't have to like her, but but you have to admit she does play a good, like, strong, kick-ass woman.
No.
Yeah, she does.
No. That's where I don't like her. She does not portray that well.
I think she does.
I completely disagree.
Who portrays a strong, like, woman, like, in horror movies?
In horror movies?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's not fair because I'm still catching up to you. And two, strong women, kick-ass, blah, 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 whatever, in horror movies, like, really don't exist.
No,
Most
they
of the
really
time
do.
just-
They're
no.
generally the
Most of the
people
time-
that generally fight
Okay,
back.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize the middle of my sentence interrupted the beginning of yours.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, though, generally, the antagonist of all horror films who fights back against the villain, is always a woman.
I disagree. Most of the time, if it's a female, they're like blonde and scared and are one of the first ones to die, and all they do is show their breasts.
False. I mean, I'll tell you this. There's always a scantily blonde who shows her breast in horror movies. Yes, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But there's always one female who doesn't drink, who doesn't do drugs, who doesn't have sex, and she always fights back against the villain. So
But
strong, independent woman.
Stuff like Scream or
Scream.
Cabin in the Woods, those don't count. Those are too new. Those are newer than
Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis.
that
Babysitter.
one's older. She's really young in that one. It's older. It's one of the original. That's what I'm talking about originally, not the new spin-offs, none of the not original stuff anymore.
Well, there was like in Nightmare on Elm Street, it was like a I don't know, it's been a while, and like I said, I don't really care about Freddy. So, but I'm pretty sure it was like a girl and a guy. It was like a couple that was fighting
like a
back
couple.
against Freddy. I mean,
Why? Okay.
the original Friday the 13th didn't even have Jason in it. It was just the mom killing everybody, and I mean,
Oh, does that count as a strong female character? Well, then his mom portrayed that very, very well, and that's my evidence.
that's what I was saying. I was just like, I don't know.
Oh, but that was a girl as well, wasn't it? Like the final end scene, the only one that survived was a girl.
Yes,
God, man, maybe you're right.
I know I'm right.
Fuck off. Well, then why is it girls?
Why is it girls?
Is it because mostly men watch these? And
No,
they get
it's
turned on?
because, unfortunately, the way men are perceived in today's world and yesterday's world, as like the 80s and stuff like that, we are evil.
Well, yeah, you are. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Because, not trying to get into politics or anything like that, just saying that with rampant feminism,
he used air quotations, just
yes.
so you know.
that, I mean, I believe in equal rights, whatever, that's what I believe in, but there's also people who always just believe the guy is always the bad guy, just, so whatever. But yeah, so in movies, when they use this or whatever, women are always seen as the innocents of the human beings.
But you said they're the ones fighting back. That's not so innocent if they can kill the murderer.
Well, the reason that they're fighting back is defense. And it's the innocents because they're the ones that usually survive.
Okay.
Just like our movie Scream tells you, if you don't have sex, you don't show your boobies off, and you don't drink, and you don't smoke pot and stuff like that, you generally fight back and you survive. Just like Neve Campbell in Scream.
Yeah, so that's
Jamie Lee Curtis
exactly
in
what-
Halloween. I mean, you can just go on and on with that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah.
Okay.
So, you're disproved.
Mm.
I love you. Okay. All right.
I love
So,
you too. Like I said, I'm still catching up to him. He has many years' experience on me.
yeah, but we've watched a lot of horror movies in 3 years, especially the
have.
classics. So you have to. I feel like should have been able to
But-
avoid that conversation at the same time.
Wow, are you really trash talking me on the first episode?
I'm not trying to trash talk you. I'm just
I feel
saying.
like you are. I'm very offended right now. Men are evil. I am over here just trying to defend myself and live.
All right, so on to Gabby here is a skeptic. She doesn't really believe in all this stuff, although I feel like more and more each day and each crazy experience she's starting to actually open her mind up to things. So explain why you don't believe in any of this stuff.
Oh man, that threw me off guard. I did not expect that question. Okay. Well, little background. I grew up in a Christian home. Not like overly Christian, but like we went to church every week and they tried. Grew up homeschooled in the country with basically nobody around for miles. Like I drove 30 minutes to the closest city. And because of that, I don't know, I grew up with a certain set of beliefs and ideals and whatnot, and those beliefs and ideals don't necessarily mean there can't be ghosts or aliens, but from what I grew up to understand and believe, there were no ghosts and aliens. It's just not a thing. And even though I've kind of ventured away from those thoughts and beliefs a little bit, it still doesn't make sense to me that a ghost or a spirit after you die would just stay here and chill out if there is an afterlife. I don't know, it just makes more sense to me that right when they die, they would just go straight to that afterlife, whatever that may be.
So you don't believe in like a Grim Reaper? I mean, that's
Like
even in like
leaving
I feel like that's even in like Christian culture, you know, like a Grim Reaper, you know, like death. So,
well, death is, but a Grim Reaper isn't.
well, Grim Reaper is death.
No, the Grim Reaper, as you have described it to me before, is someone who, when you die, they lead you to the afterlife.
Yes. Well,
No,
all
that's
right.
not
So then you're gonna go like onto like death, like one of the four horsemen.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
What?
Is that what you're saying?
What'd you say?
Like, you're like saying like a Grim Reaper is different from death because death is like one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
I'm saying there is no Grim Reaper.
But you believe in death, like a death,
I believe
like
in
one of
death
the four
because it
horsemen of the
happens.
apocalypse.
Oh yeah. Because death is like, it's like a plague. It's supposed to be like, basically, you die because you sin. Death is a repercussion of sin. I'm sorry if we're getting really religious in the first one. I'm just trying to explain.
I don't know.
Like, if this gets boring, I'm sorry, but
Death is everywhere. It's a natural force. So.
yeah, it's natural. It's not a thing. It's not like, I don't want to say a person, but like a creature that comes and leads you. I think your spirit knows where to go afterwards. And it just goes. What?
No. Okay. Cool.
And as for aliens, I know all you're gonna come after me, but there is no evidence of aliens.
The absence of evidence isn't the evidence of absence. But also, I hate that quote at the same time.
Yeah, I
so.
have to say.
But I mean, I'm just saying though, like.
I mean, I get that, but also you want to convict somebody of murder just because there's no evidence. There's no evidence, so he might have possibly did it. Okay. No, that's not how that works.
It's true, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there are sightings and all this stuff out there. Some of it's crap, and some of it can't be explained. So
And
I
how
mean,
are you supposed to rifle through everything to figure out what's what?
I don't know. Like my aunt and my father saw something. That's where my aunt started her thing, and all my dad will say on it is that he saw something that he can't explain. He won't say that it's aliens or nothing, but he has no idea what the hell it was. So
that means it's aliens?
No, but that leads to the possibility of something like that.
But it's not.
But it could be.
But it's not.
Open your mind.
It is open and it sees no aliens.
Alright, so whatever. She doesn't believe in aliens, but I'm sure throughout this podcast we'll find information and we'll do topics about aliens, and maybe she'll change her mind in the future. We'll see.
I'm more willing to believe in ghosts staying here on Earth and haunting people and dolls being haunted than I am aliens.
Well, that is just crazy.
It's... You're crazy.
A little bit.
Mm.
But hey, you know, why else would I be doing a podcast about this stuff? So.
True.
Okay. Alright,
How about this? Okay. So, since you believe in aliens and ghosts and whatnot, do you have any ghost stories or alien stories, like, personally that you have experienced to make you believe this stuff?
Okay, alright. I have some personal things, and then I've heard things from friends and family members of spooky things happening. As of aliens, I've never really had an experience, I guess you could say. I mean, there was a time I saw something in the sky that was kind of weird, you know, like there was like lights all around it, but like I didn't get that much of a glimpse of it to make me for sure that it was aliens or anything like that. Well, for ghosts and stuff like that, I mean, some weird things have happened, around me before. I mean, I was spending the night in the basement at my parents' house one night, and I guess I don't know, this doesn't really classify as ghost, maybe, I don't know, but uh, my mom used to have all these dolls just up on the walls, and they would go around the whole freaking room. Very freaky. I don't know why anyone would want to sleep down there, but I did just because it was the basement and it was away from my parents. So, um, but sorry, but yeah. So one night I was there, staying up late, watching some, Comedy Central uncut midnight movie where they said everything and whatnot. And I swore I look up at one of those shelves and I saw a doll move its face. I swear to God I saw it. I mean, I don't know. It could have been a ghost. It could have been something else. Or, you never know. It could have just been like a weird freak thing of like that stuff happening. I mean, I'm sure that there could be some science behind something like that happening. So, I've had that happen. I've taken pictures myself that have received like the spirit orbs and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've done that myself.
You believe in the orbs?
Well, it's pretty freaking weird that they were coming up, especially in the place I was in.
Okay.
I was at the Stanley Hotel myself, and I used my own camera, and my brother was with us, and he used his camera, and we both showed each other, and just randomly would take pictures of this, and we'd have these orbs, and sometimes we were in the same place, and sometimes they were in opposite, different places and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Orbs could be bullshit. I don't know. But that's just another thing. I don't know. The way I see it as is I'm not calling you conceited or anything like that. But all I know is that I'm willing to think that there is something more out there than just us. So that can go for like, I can believe that there's probably a different life form somewhere else, whether it's a little green guy, putting his finger in your butthole or something like that. So
why you gotta take it there?
Well, that's what aliens are known for, probing.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll get there.
Oh my
okay. But yeah, and then different multiverses, different universes, different like the veil, whatever you want to call it. I mean, who am I to really say that it isn't there? Sure, we don't have the exact evidence or a great way to measure whatever this is, but I mean, I don't know. I don't doubt it, and I think it's a cool idea, and it'd be kind of cool to see some of that stuff. So I'm willing to believe it. So yeah.
I mean, fair enough. I'm not dissing you or anybody who believes in this stuff. I'm just saying, me personally, there's nothing out there to make me believe it.
Well, yeah, okay. No problem.
Okay. Okay, so first one short, because we don't want to take up all your guys' precious time.
Nope, but I don't know if you liked what you heard, I guess, which was barely anything, I guess, and it was very weird because this is our first one. We've never been in like radio or something like this, so we're
hopefully this sounds okay.
So hopefully, yeah. So but I definitely come back and we'll do another episode and we'll have more of a specific topic. That way we're not just all over the place with some things. And
but at least now you guys know we're not just going to talk about horror movies and real life serial killers. There's a lot of stuff that we enjoy talking about with each other and we wish to share with you.
Yeah, heck, we might talk about music, we might talk about movies, we might talk about, hell, we could bring up something that's actually happening right now, some freak weird thing. And, when it comes to that, I'm sure we'll tell you in those episodes, but we'll relate to the facts as if we know, and make sure that everybody knows that we're not just gossiping, we're just telling you what we know and everything. So, but yeah, so we're gonna be all over the place, but we're generally gonna be in the darker side of things. So, yeah, that is The House on Podcast Hill. I am Zoe,
I'm Gabby.
and we say
Good luck. And don't turn off the lights.
all right, good luck, and don't turn off the lights.